Welcome to the Sheckler Spotlight, where creativity meets purpose and conversation goes deeper. Join host Harrison Sheckler as he sits down with inspiring guests from all walks of life, artists, thinkers, musicians, and everyday heroes, to explore the stories that shape us, uplift us, and connect us. Now here's your host, Harrison Sheckler.
Hi, I'm your host, Harrison Sheckler. My guest today is a powerhouse of country soul, an artist with over 1 million fans online and more than 400 million video views. You may know her from The Voice Season 25, where she was a top 5 finalist, or from viral songs like Louisiana Hurricane, Fix It, and her latest anthem, Blue Cowboy Boots, which just premiered on Taste of Country and the Heartland Network. She's been featured in Rolling Stone, Billboard, People magazine, performed across 15 countries, and even served as the Grand Marshal of a 2025 Mardi Gras parade. Her signature blend of Louisiana roots, storytelling, and genre-bending grit is something truly special. The spotlight is now on you. Karen Waldrup, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I have been so looking forward to this. Oh my gosh, being on your podcast is so exciting. I can't wait to talk about life and music, and I'm here in my own house, just chilling out. So I'm ready to go.
Oh, I'm buckled up. I'm ready. Let's start it. So with everyone, I start pretty much from the origin of how they got into music, just like what kind of kid were you growing up? So can you kind of like just set the scene for us? How did you get into music, and what was childhood like for you?
You know, I was the kid that came from a really beautiful, wonderful upbringing. My mom and dad had us in a very safe neighborhood, and I could go play street hockey, and I could kind of have my little girlfriends in the neighborhood run around the wagon. We never had to worry about, crime, really. People say, well, aren't you from New Orleans? I'm like, well, not really. I'm actually from a little town outside of New Orleans called Mandeville. And it is a very safe suburb, beautiful place. I just had such a great upbringing. So to move away from that and move to Nashville, and not that Nashville is not safe, Nashville is safe, but to move into the music business and to traveling around the world was definitely culture shock for me, because Mom always said, not everywhere is Mandeville, Louisiana. And she was right about that. Not everybody is playing street hockey all day long. Not everybody is baking goods for the high school. Not everybody is good. But what I have learned is that most people are. I've gotten into my situations where I've had some bad snakes along the way, but I would honestly say I agree with Luke Bryan. Most people are good. I feel that way. Yeah.
So how do you think that shaped the way you approach music, and maybe how you approach, I guess, like your fans?
I have this thing, which I've never told anybody this, actually. I've had this thing where I believe everybody who tells me anything. Okay. So I believe it on the surface. That doesn't mean I believe it in my real heart.
Sure.
If somebody comes up to me and says, like, my uncle is Elvis Presley and we're owners of Graceland and we're thinking about a Christmas thing, I am going to dive into like, wow, that is so cool. Like, I don't know if they're delusional or they could actually own Graceland. You know what I mean? So I always lead with like, wow, that's so cool that your uncle is Elvis. And deep in my heart, I'm thinking, has this guy just had a lot to drink?
Sure.
Or is his uncle really Elvis? So I think as artists, the best thing to do is just to believe everybody, because they'll just trickle out themselves. You just won't hear from that guy again.
Mm-hmm.
He just won't email, So I just act like everybody is real and everybody is legit and everybody's uncle is Elvis and everything is great. And then what I find happening is that person who was just too drunk that night and said something that they didn't know about will just trickle out. But then sometimes there I am in Memphis, So it's kind of like so my favorite testimony of that is actually a girlfriend of mine. She's actually now my best friend. I was on stage at the Floribama and I had a very ugly outfit on, which I wouldn't take back for the world, because she transformed my entire wardrobe. And she sent a friend up there. She was too nervous to do it herself. And I was changing a guitar string and I was so annoyed. Listeners who play guitar, like, oh my God, changing a guitar string in the middle of the show is so annoying. So I was so annoyed. And here comes lady, like, hey, my friend wants to be your stylist. And I'm like, yeah, right. Sure. Next day, I'm in the condo on the beach overlooking the ocean in Gulf Shores, Alabama. People pouring champagne, and they've got garments all over for me to try on. And it was fun. And we were painting our toenails, and it was just, and to this day, she is literally still my best friend. So I find it to be interesting, the power of just kind of believing, but like not believing. Like you believe, like in that moment, I was like, cool, I would love to work with her. I really look forward to that. That'll be so great. Thank you so much. Here's my email, or I got her email probably. Reached out to her the next morning and they're like, yeah, we went shopping this morning. I'm like, what? So they had all these garments. They went to boutiques in Gulf Shores. They were up bright and early. It was just kind of crazy. They wanted to style me for the next night at the Floribama. They just wanted to do that. So I think the testimony to authenticity is believe until the person just disappears, because they'll just disappear. They'll just disappear and you just will never hear from them again. And they're probably embarrassed. Like they drank too much at the Floribama and said something that they didn't have any way to back up. But man, most of the time they actually are. And so that's what I've learned. So being from South Louisiana, I think that that's the thing about being an individual that really helps me is like, we in Louisiana get to be whoever we want to be. Like totally whoever we want to be. Like have you ever been to Louisiana?
No, I haven't. And I'm planning a big Southern trip and I want to start it in Louisiana.
Go to Louisiana and go to a crawfish boil. Okay.
A crawfish boil. Okay.
And tell me that you have never felt more like Harrison in your life. Like everybody just embraces you for exactly who you are, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to drink, whatever you want to eat, whatever pictures you want to take, whatever pictures you don't want to take. Like nobody gives a crap about any of that. And it's just so awesome. So being from there, I feel like I've really been able to go out into the world and just be Karen Waldrup. Like I don't have to like be somebody else. I just get to just be me. I get to say crazy stuff. Someone said the other day to me, she's a songwriter in town and she has a song she's working on for me. It's like, I guess I just need a little hallelujah and a little shot of whiskey.
Amen.
And it's like, that's Louisiana girls. Like we love Jesus. We love community. We love family. We love community and friendship. But we also like to drink whiskey or drink a hurricane or, blend up some daiquiris. So I think being from Louisiana, long answer here, I'm landing the plane, but I think the long answer is like being from Louisiana has impacted me greatly because it's allowed me to just be myself. And I don't really care what anybody thinks about that. Trust me, I've had situations like I played Utah. Like I cannot imagine those ladies liked me. I was up there getting down. I mean, I was getting down. I was just like totally doing me, just playing my songs, singing. And the ladies are very stiff in Utah. I don't know. Have you been to Utah?
I have a lot of family and friends from Utah. I like not distant family, but friends that have been in Utah. Yep.
And I'm not speaking negatively about them because they are very classy.
It's a different culture. It's different. It's very different. Yeah.
Like Utah and South Louisiana could not be more like Salt Lake City, Utah, New Orleans, Louisiana, totally different, totally opposite ends of the spectrum. But that's what I love about traveling is that like even Salt Lake City, Utah, it's like there's so many things about those people that I can respect and I can emulate a little. When I'm in the environment that requires me to be perfect, I can emulate that. I can be like, hey, I remember how cool those ladies were. Like they were so respectful of the music and they were so understanding. And so anyway, so as you travel, you just kind of learn how to like appreciate different cultures and different ways of life. And like the Hispanic community, I love so much how this Hispanic community is just so loving and um, just embracing and everybody having a good time. And I find that the Hispanic community is a lot like the South Louisiana Cajun community, a little.
Oh, yeah, I could see that too. We had um so I've lived in Tucson, so I had a lot of the Hispanic influence.
Yeah,
I love Mexican food, so that Mexican food in Arizona is really good.
I
But
bet.
I'm from the Midwest. My roots are in Iowa, and then now I moved to Kansas City, and I'm a good Midwest boy. I lived in New York City, and that's a whole other animal in itself. But
What did
yeah,
you think about living out there?
well, so I was in Brooklyn, and so each borough kind of has its own flavor, or yeah, they're very proud. Like the locals are proud of each borough, and they're like, "Oh, you're up in the Queens. Oh, you're in Long Island, and I bet you're in the Hamptons and stuff." Where the Bronx are just like this. So
Yep.
it's and Manhattan's like, everyone walking down the street is either like a Vogue model or someone who's just trying to get to Wall Street. It's totally different, but it was cool. To answer your question, it was a really cool experience. Unfortunately, it was for my master's degree, and it was right during COVID. So like I was in there quick, and then I had to
Oh,
go back home, finish my degree online. But well, like to go back to like what you were saying is it's so cool to see the different cultures and how privileged we are. I'm a professional pianist, and so I see the classical world of things is kind of what my forte is, and
mhm.
so I get to perform in different areas across the country. But you get to too, and it's
Yep.
awesome. It's a blessing to have that privilege to do all these things. And what I love how you started out is you're saying that you are so confident in who you are, and Louisiana shaped you, and you have no gripe about I'm Karen Waldrup and this is who I am. I mean, that was like right off the bat on the podcast. I was like, well, hello there, Karen, this is who
When
you
you're
are.
when you're from the foot of the boot, when you're in the foot of the boot, you
Yeah.
just yeah. Anybody that you ever talk to that's from the foot of the boot, they'll be like, yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's just yeah, totally. But you're right. I mean, just traveling around the world and seeing the world. So where are you today? Are you in the Midwest today?
Yeah, so I'm in Kansas City right now. Yep.
Awesome. Yes, I've had a great time in Kansas.
Yeah, it's a good time, good people and good barbecue. That's what they're known for here in Kansas City. So I want to also like get an idea of your musical roots. Okay, so you're confident in who you are, and I can definitely see how that could help aid you in performing and on the stage.
Mm.
But who were your early influences in music? Who were the people that you looked up to? And who are your teachers? Like, did you have a vocal coach? Did you learn how to play an instrument? I want to learn more about
Such a
that.
great question. Honestly, of all the interviews I've ever done, nobody has ever asked me about my teacher. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, me being I'm a college
Yeah,
piano professor, always try to give a shout out to the
to
music
the
teachers out
teacher.
there.
Totally. So it started when I was growing up and I was always in church because mom was very I have a song called Blame It on a Honky Tonk, and
Hmm.
it's the lyrics are I don't know what they're selling you, but I don't mind telling you. It ain't my mama's fault. She raised me up in church and she raised me up to work and she raised me to respect the law. And it's just this fun song about like blame it on a honky tonk. Like don't blame it on mama. Like it ain't her fault, you know? Anyway, got off on a tangent there. But when I was a kid, we used to go to church every Sunday, and
Hmm.
I was the bad kid running up and down the aisles trying to get attention. But looking back, it was like that shaped me into singing in church and into being the vocal leader in church and to being the youth group leader and being able to follow under the direction of I'm sorry, I misspoke. I was not the youth group leader. To follow under the direction of the youth
Sure.
group leader, which was named Chris Eshte, and he's so amazing. And he's from Mandeville, Louisiana, and they call him Brother Chris.
Brother Chris.
And he's so cool. And anyway, so I was 16 years old, and I went to sing in church choir because my mom was very much about like if you're going to sing, that's fine, but you're singing about God, you know?
Right, right.
Yeah, she was all about that. And so anyway, so I was like, okay, that's fine. As long as I'm singing, I'm happy. That's cool. So I went to the church youth group at Our Lady of the Lake Catholic Church in Mandeville, Louisiana. And that is when my life changed. I was about 16 and I went in and I was all excited to sing in the youth choir and everything, thought I was something else. And here's this guy and he's playing guitar, but he's singing songs that we sing in church, but he's also singing some songs that he wrote himself.
Oh.
And so it's like, oh, you wrote that? And then he's like, yeah, we're going to sing that. And I'm like, okay. And we're singing along. And then the next week I'm like, you wrote that too? And he's like, yeah, this is a song I like, man. You know, he's like my kind of guy. He's like my kind of guy. We're still friends to this day. He's about to open up for me down in South Louisiana in a few months.
Seriously, that's awesome.
He's opened up for me, I think 3 times now, you know? Wow. So it's funny how, I always have a place for him on stage. He can just get up and play anywhere he wants. He can jump on stage with us. We'll plug him in, and he's such a great player. But anyway, so a couple weeks go by, and then finally I just asked him, I said, so are you saying that like you could just pick that instrument up and you could just kind of play whatever you want and like just kind of say whatever you want? And he's like, yeah, you just say whatever you want. If you feel something, you just say it. I'm like, really? You don't have any rules ever? He's like, no. I'm like, I want to learn how to play that. And so then he said, well, I'll meet you before 7:00. We met on Monday nights or whatever. He said, but I'm very busy. You know, I got 2 kids at home and a wife and everything. He said, but if you'll show up here 1 hour before choir, I'll just spend that hour kind of showing you the ropes. Just bring a guitar and I'll kind of show you. He said, but I'm telling you right now, if you don't have rhythm, like you're not paying me, you know, I'm not going to sit here and waste my time, you know? So I went up in the attic and I'm all excited and I get this old classical guitar out that my dad had from my older sister. Thank God he did not sell that guitar. Thank God. But then looking back, I'm like, Dad, why did you put a guitar in the attic? Like, that was wrong. That poor guitar got beat up, you know? Anyway, so I get to rehearsal and I'm all excited about having this guitar. And he's like, no, we're not playing that. That's an old classical. That sounds terrible. He said, so I'll just bring an extra. Wow. So he brought an extra. My dad was probably embarrassed. Anyway, so he brings this extra guitar and week after week, I'm strumming that guitar. So my dad is a very sensible man. Mm-hmm. And he approaches me and says, look, I understand the guitar is very bad that I sent you there with. He said, but if you could just show me that you could at least play the chords of an entire song, know the lyrics, understand how the song goes down, I will buy you a guitar. And so I was like, all right. So I sat down and I learned the Dixie Chicks. There ain't nothing but a heartbreak town.
Oh yeah.
World. Yeah. So I learned this whole song. Crazy. Later, I ended up working with the producer of that record, which is amazing.
It's amazing how everything comes full circle.
I know. Paul Worley ended up working with the guy who produced that track. Anyway, so I remember sitting down with my dad and I was all excited and I played it all the way through. And he said, all right, let's go. And he brought me to the little music store and he bought me this, $200 guitar. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was enough to get me by. And he had 4 daughters. So everybody wanted basketball and all this stuff. So I get it looking back why he didn't get me some amazing Taylor. But what he did was got me the guitar that allowed me the quest, the desire to like get better so that I could get the guitar I wanted. I know it's like, anyway, I think that's really one of the biggest blessings he ever gave me wasn't buying me a $2,000 guitar, just getting me something that was good enough, but wasn't like crazy, because I don't know if I really would have appreciated that until I got to be to the point where I was needing a really legit guitar. And that's when I got my first like crazy, amazing $4,000 guitar, But looking back, I just really appreciate the fact that he got me like a really cheap little beginner Ibanez, excuse me. And I just played that for however long. And so anyway, so then I played it in church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like so excited. So then here's me playing along with the youth group leader, Chris Eshte. So he taught me how to play guitar, and then I was in choir, and there was a lady named Miss Claire Moss, and she taught me how to sing. And she taught me how to sing, but not only did she teach me how to sing, she taught me how to not sing. That's really, she taught me how to not sing, how to breathe properly, she was such a blessing. Now, I will tell you, she was suffering with cancer while we were in high school.
Oh, wow.
So looking back, I can't imagine how tired she must have really felt. So she was a little harsh, but there was one day that she pulls me in her side office and she says, you're not doing this cheerleading thing. And I'm like, what do you mean? I love cheerleading. It's like it's so fit. I feel fit. I enjoy it. We're running up and down bleachers. Like, I enjoy it. We're tossing people in the air. It's a lot of fun. What do you mean? She's like, nope, you have to pick. You want to do choir or you want to do cheerleading? And I said, what if I just mouth the words? So I just started faking it, man. So I just faked it. And she bought into it. She was down. She's like, wow. I don't care. She was like, I don't care if you fake it, but do not scream because you're 16 years old. You have a gift. You're designed to sing. Don't blow it, at football games or whatever. So that's what I did. So for all those years, I did that. And then my senior year, it was very unfortunate, but she passed away while we were all in high school. And then a lady named Miss Leanne Sharp came in, and she is the one who really, 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 really believed in my vocal tone because she gave me all the solos. Like every time we did like the national anthem, like there was a huge choir behind me and I was the solo. And what's funny is she came to my show at Dolly Days, this big event they were doing for Dolly Parton back in May. And I gave her flowers from stage. We honored her and everything during I Hope You Dance, which is a special song to me. But she told me something that night that I didn't know about. She said, Karen, that was back in the day before we had people's phone numbers, but you had a cell phone. She said, and I had your cell phone number. And she said, and I remember we could never find you. She was like, you're trying to get on the bus. And it's like, where's Karen Waldrup? In the locker room, chit-chatting with somebody, like who knows what I was doing. But I do find it interesting because I've always enjoyed the rush of like not having a ton of time. So I think there might be something psychologically inside me that enjoys like working under pressure. Because she said that she could never find me. And I was always like running at the last minute and that just, I don't know. And then when I was on The Voice, it really messed with me having all that time. I was like, why do I need this much time? I was like sitting backstage with nothing to do. And I felt so like weird. So I had to like find ways to take my time. Like I was like fixing my hair or I was like messing with I was like trying to do, because I'm just not used to having that much time. When you're playing honky tonks, you just don't have time like that. So it just kind of messed with me. But then I learned how to twist it. And I felt like as long as I can just find a way to kind of fill that space, I'll be fine. So I found a way. Sorry to jump from high schoal to The Voice, but
you're fine.
I found a way to do that. But anyway, this is a great fun conversation. Thank you so much.
No, I think it's really setting a picture of just like how you got to where you are. So it's really important to hear it in your own words, and especially, giving, light to the people that helped us along the way. So thank you for sharing who your teachers were, because I think there's a lot of music teachers out there who just don't get enough credit.
I have to, in case these people hear, David Troya, my first producer, Robert Sturkin, my first producer, high school, Paul Worley, Garth Fundis. He taught me how to drink fluids, like fluids. He's like water, water, water. He taught me how to drink water. Can you hear me? Water. Like I drink water. I go to the nail salon with a gallon of water and the lady's like, really? That's a lot of water. I'm like, I know. I'm so bad. I am constantly.
Well, you have to take care of your body now so that you can sing till, you're in your 80s, right? You want to be doing it for a long time. So you only have one voice.
And I think that's the thing. If somebody was telling me like I have pitch problems, I would say, you're not going to have pitch problems anymore if you start drinking a gallon of water a day. Like
why exactly do you think that is? Like what's the hydration? How does it play into it?
I think pitch issues come from two things. Here I go. Now you got me on a tangent, Harrison.
I love this.
I think pitch issues come from two things. One, lack of breathing.
Okay.
I think people aren't breathing in the right place. I know.
So you're going flat, probably, right?
I was at rehearsal last night and I just could not hit this note because it's a new song and I'm working on it. And I said, guys, just give me 2 beats. So we built the 1, 2. And during those 2 beats, I take a huge breath and I have no problem hitting the note. But if you don't have the space to take a breath, then you're going to go flat every time.
Right.
So and that's what's fun about music. You could just build it in, just add it in. Hello. It's so easy. You just literally add the space in and there's your little moment to take your breath. You just build it in. Same that you would a house. If you're like, my wife likes a big closet. Great. Just build a big closet. Like just build it, So that's what I do with music. I find the place that I'm like, I'm not breathing right here. So let's just add a space that allows me to take a huge breath and hit the note. So that and dehydration, I think traveling, being on airplanes, imagine arriving in Europe and you're jet
lagged. Yeah.
You're jet lagged, you're tired, and you have to play that night. So the best thing you can do is just throw it back. Just one water bottle after the next. You can't drink enough water because as you do that, your vocal cords are just getting totally hydrated. That when you go to sing, they're doing their job because they have what they need. It's like food for a body. You got to have food in order to get out there and do a workout or put a show on. You got to eat, right? You got to have a little chicken or a little squash or something. Like you got to have.
Sounds good.
Right? That's what we're making tomorrow night.
Oh, hey, there you go.
That's what we're making tomorrow night because guess what? I'm in the studio on Thursday.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay. Can we get an insight onto what you're doing Thursday, or is it top secret?
No, I'm an open book. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I have wanted to make a new record for a minute, but I've had obstacles, things that have gotten in the way and stuff. And God just opened the door for me. I was listening to a podcast, which you'll really enjoy this guy. Have you ever heard of Ed Milet?
No, I don't think so.
This guy is so inspiring, and I'll paraphrase his inspiration because I don't want to take it ever. I'll always credit him. The idea is that instead of just dreaming, okay, like we all dream, and Dolly Parton says the difference between dreaming and wishing is that dreaming requires every single day of your life waking up and focusing and checking off the things it requires to make that dream happen. So if you want to open up a dog shelter, you have to go to the bank. You have to find a dog shelter. You have to go finance it. You have to find a partner. You have to get dog food. You have to get flea medication. You have to do a lot of work.
Take action.
Wishing is I wish I could have a dog shelter, but you have no plan to do anything. You just wish that someone's going to give you a dog shelter, and then you just hope that somebody knocks on your front porch and gives you a dog shelter. So same in music. Dream or wish. I wish I could be a singer, or I'm dreaming about being a singer and I'm going to do everything it takes to make that happen. I'm going to do my cardio so that I can sing. I'm going to drink my water so I can sing. I'm going to practice. I'm going to go to rehearsal. I'm going to learn how to play guitar. I'm going to do all these things, right? So Ed Milet says to take it to the next level of dreaming is to touch the dream. Is to say, you know what? I don't have a dog shelter, but that doesn't mean I can't go volunteer at a dog shelter just for one day and just touch it and just dream and just feel the beauty of having a dog shelter, of how that lady feels. And is she overwhelmed? Is she happy? Are there too many dogs? How many dogs are there? Are there a lot of crates? How are they being maintained? And studying what your dream looks like so that you can go back and you don't have to even own it. You could just touch it for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go back and be like, okay, when I have my dog shelter, I'm not going to have that many crates. I'm just going to have 20. She has 50 and she's overwhelmed. So touching it. And so I've been practicing that in my life. So a 4th of July, there's this event on the rooftop overlooking the Cumberland River with the largest fireworks show in all of Nashville. The tickets are like badonkulous expensive. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this, right? But Ed Milet tells me, you just go and touch it. So I did. So I buy the ridiculous price tickets. I'm like, I'm believing in the dream. I want to touch the dream. I want to live that life. I want to be able to live that life. I want to be able to go watch the fireworks every 4th of July with a bathroom access, with a bar access, with air conditioning. That matters to me. I want to live that life. So I'm going to touch it. Even though I can't afford it every single night of my life, I'm going to touch it tonight. So I get my sax player and we go downtown to the river. And sure enough, I walk up to this is like a movie. Okay. I walk up to the rooftop and I'm all excited and they have like drinks for like $17. So I pay $17. So I pay $17 and everything. And I'm up on the rooftop and I mean, you can't make this up. And this guy walks right up to me and he says, hey, are you Karen Waldrup? And I said, yeah. I said, so happy to meet you. What's your name? And he says, I'm Brian. Nice to meet you, blah, blah. Long story short, he's working for a major producer in Nashville. Now we're producing a record. I know you can't make this up. A record on Thursday. We're doing another 4 songs in August. Killer songs. The best technology when it comes to mixing, mastering, audio recording, the whole thing. Great songs. Great dude. We just get along. So anyway, it's a testimony for sure. And I even told Ed Milet on Instagram what happened to me. I said, look, I was chasing the dream. Now, I did also chase the dream one night at the Grand Ole Opry. Oh. I went backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. I'm studying the Grand Ole Opry and where to park, where the lockers are, where people plug their hair and makeup in, where's the bathroom, where are my parents going to go, where are they going to get their little wristband, all that. You got to touch the dream, man. I'm telling you, it works. It works. So now I'm trying to play the Grand Ole Opry.
So that's the next goal.
That's the next goal. Yeah.
I love that.
We got to have the record.
Well, you got to have the record.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen because you're already touching it and then you're putting, your dream or your wishes into action, right? Because you're taking those steps. I think that's super exciting. Well, you've had so you just said what the dream is, right? And you've had certain things along the way, like the actions that you're taking. And so what were some pivotal moments? Obviously, okay, let's say The Voice, right? The Voice was probably a big, impactful moment because it also increased your fan base, I would say, maybe to people who don't necessarily have access to your genre or haven't really been interested in your genre. It puts in a whole new platform. I'm curious if you can tell us a little bit about The Voice and that experience and how, it was or was not impactful. And then what are some other milestones along the way on this dream path of yours?
That's such a great question. You are the best question asker. You're the best interviewer ever.
Oh, great. Well, I'm glad I got that in recording. Thank you.
You really are. I think the thing about The Voice and I've said this before, this is my favorite thing about The Voice is just everything that you learn. It was like graduate school of music.
Okay.
It really was. It was like I got to just get to the next level in education and understanding and breathing. And I mean, the biggest thing is like stepping into the song and like living the song. And I can't say I do it every single song, but man, I try to do every single song. I try to just step into that song. Mm-hmm. So The Voice really taught me that. And you know what's funny is I don't really know that The Voice really broadened my fan base.
Okay.
as much as it enriched my fan base. So,
ooh, I like that. I like that.
yeah. So when I went on the show, I already had 1 million followers. I
Right.
thought maybe we could take that to 1.5, but not really. It went to like 1.1.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really, it moved it a little, but what it really did is it pulled us together in a way that we really needed,
Mm.
because like all of a sudden that girl who was Waldrup Worldwide, we call it Waldrup Worldwide. You see my W, Waldrup Worldwide.
I love that.
Yeah, we call it Waldrup Worldwide, which is like people all around the world, doesn't matter who you are, what platform you're on. If you love the music and you're nice, you're in. It's free. There's no, we will kick you out if you start bullying somebody, but if you're nice and you're supportive of other people, of me, of the music, of all that, Waldrop Worldwide. So what it did was it allowed that person, which I didn't see this coming, but that person that was already Waldrop Worldwide, she's now making a crock pot and having a cooler full of beer and inviting all her friends over to watch her friend Karen Waldrup on The Voice. And so what it did was it kind of validated her passion for my tone. And it made all her friends be like, oh my God, this is so cool. Let us know when she comes to Houston, or let us know when she's in Louisiana. So it kind of built that woman into like a leader role of Waldrop Worldwide. And then all her friends so then now she's booking a limo and everybody's reimbursing her and they're coming to the show in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So it kind of enriched it as more than it, because those people already kind of were Waldrop Worldwide because they were friends of hers. But because of their experience coming every Monday night, she was making a crock pot and the kids were running around and everybody put the kids in the other room with the toys and stuff. And they were all watching The Voice. It just kind of put us in a place where we were able to just kind of reunite again. And for me, I feel like Waldrop Worldwide really needed that because of COVID. Because of COVID, it was like the steam just went out on Waldrop Worldwide and everybody was like, and then I was playing songs on the internet with bad audio and kind of sounded like crap. And people were kind of like, cool, and then it was kind of like a year went by, 2 years went by, and it was like, all right, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to get this to the next level again? So The Voice did that for me. It allowed me to just pull together everybody who believed in me in 2019 all over again. It was like just stirring the pot. It was just stirring the pot. That's really, but most importantly, what I learned and how it affected me on stage.
I think that's awesome. And I love that you use the word enriched, I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. And so, people are falling in love with your songs, and you just released one of your songs is well, I just had the blue cowboy boots, and I was just watching the music video. But what's so cool about it? It's kind of like I don't know, it's super catchy. It's like fashion forward, I guess. Is that the way we can put it?
I love that.
Yeah, fashion forward. Looking at it, I was trying to think of like how would I describe this song, but just the energy, at least in the music video that you have, was super fun. So I'm kind of curious, how did that song come into play, and then also the making of the music video, because I really enjoyed the music video with it too.
That's such a great question. So blue cowboy boots that's why I wore the blue. You might not be able to tell because it's dark.
I love it. I
wore the blue for you.
Yeah, there we go.
You wore the blue too. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a song idea from my friend Ed Hill. And he sends me a text one day and he says, I have a song for you. And I said, oh God, here we go. Because he and I have written together for many years. And he says, blue cowboy boots. And I said, oh my God, we have to write this. We have to write this.
So it's just the name.
He just started with just the title.
Okay.
And then he comes over to my house and he knew I was going on The Voice and he wanted to be one of my first songs coming off the show. Mm-hmm. Because at that time we already knew I was in the finale. So he knew Ed Hill's going to write with me no matter what, because he and I are bros.
Yeah.
But I think during that session, it was kind of like, all right, let's write a banger that's coming off the show that's really going to be light and silly and fun. And so he's in my backyard and I'm getting dressed and I look out the window and he's sitting in the Adirondack chairs, just chilling, waiting on me, you know? So I walk outside. I'm like, hey, I'm dying to hear the song. Like, what you got? So he's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like blue cowboy boots, like blue, like the double entendre. You ain't blue anymore if you're in blue cowboy boots. I didn't have any blue cowboy boots yet.
Mm.
And so I'm like, oh my God, we are into it. So we go in and we sit down and we start to write the song together. And next thing you know, we're talking about how basically you're walking away from this relationship in blue cowboy boots because you're not blue anymore, because you're in blue cowboy boots. So it has this double entendre thing that's like sassy and funky and weird, but also super light. Like we wanted it to be silly. We didn't want it to have a lot of thinking. We wanted it to be like, you know, the bridge is like so simple. It's like, I'm gonna get them out, shine them up, pull them on, get loud, get down. I mean, just nothing about the song requires any sort of real thinking. It's all just party lingo. It's rodeo lingo, as we would call it. So anyway, so we write that song and we record it with my guitar player and producer John Panero, and then they're like, "Hey, do you want to be the grand marshal of this Mardi Gras parade?" And so obviously, yes, I want to be the grand marshal of Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be the grand marshal of Mardi Gras parade? And then somehow, because God is so good, we had Deb by Designs from Mandeville, Louisiana, my hometown, who did the garments. Well, I said, could we not do something really cool and really like blue, everything blue, blue, blue? So we make this custom garment, blue, just ridiculous garment, just stupid, ridiculous garment. Everywhere I went, people were laughing and following the song and excited. And anyway, so then our friend Todd Schmidt was like, hey, you know, I'll make a video. And they're thinking he's going to be standing there when the float goes by. And I said, oh, hell no, we ain't doing that. I said, you getting on the float.
There we go.
So we reach out to the lady who's in charge of the parade and we're like, hey, you know, sorry, but this guy is going to be on the float. And so is his girlfriend. It's amazing how God works because he was filming and his girlfriend had been on Mardi Gras parades before, BJ. Mm-hmm. And so she knew I was moving too fast. I mean, I was just throwing, you know, it was my first Mardi Gras parade I'd been on. So she's like helping me. She's like, slow down, girl. You're about to run out of stuff, you know. Of course, when I did run out of stuff, bless her heart, she's running around looking for broken beads, you know, fixing them, throwing them at me like I'm throwing broken beads, which I'll never do ever again. Worst thing I ever did in my life.
Get the cleanup crew.
So anyway, I learned a lot. I learned that you don't go guns blazing as soon as you go through the gate. You know, we had a lot of stuff to throw, but we just threw way too fast. And I ran out like a mile before the end, and it was very embarrassing.
Oh boy, just wave.
And all the people in South Louisiana, they call you out. They're like, you ran out, didn't you? You know?
I love that.
Anyway, so it's such a fun video. And so y'all will have to go watch it after. It's called Blue Cowboy Boots, and you can see it. We just got #1 video with Taste of Country last week. So
congratulations. That's fantastic.
People were voting for it. Thank you. So it's a fun video. It's a light video, and it's just very true to who I am and where I'm from. And we just had a really good time. Honestly, we really had a great time.
Well, it was obvious. It shows in the video, and that's why you know, I encourage people to go watch it because it put a smile on my face. And you know, I think it's like I said, it's a really catchy song and fashion forward with the blue boots, right?
Thank you. I love that fashion forward.
Yeah, well, that's the way I'll frame it. So you've done all these great things in music, but you've also have a heart for charity, and there's the Mission of Hope in Haiti. I'm curious, what's the connection there? And yeah, just what's your connection? How did you get involved with that?
You know, it's so weird that you bring that up because I actually have a meeting tomorrow about a way to take that to the next level.
Awesome.
So at this point, we've built 3 houses Three houses that are, if you think about, here I go. You think about, okay, yeah, you're going to build a house. Well, forget everything you know of what a house is. In Haiti, they're living in tents, right? So if you could just build a house with a door that has a lock, you're winning, right? Like, so to be able to build a house over there, it's almost like quantity more than quality. You're trying to build as many as you can
Sure.
because these women have 4 kids, no man to be there for them, and no lock on the door. So
Mm.
as a woman, you see that and you just want to help. You know, you just want to do anything you can. So they brought me to Haiti and I traveled around and I was able to see it. And they did break me in the first day. It was like a little poverty, and then it was a little bit more poverty, and then it was a little bit more poverty. And then the last day was like tear jerking, mind blowing poverty to the point where
Mm.
you just can't even comprehend why you got blessed enough to live in a beautiful house with air conditioning and you just want to get out there and just give away food. Like you just want to just drive around and just give away food. But unfortunately, you can't do that because you'll get just totally flooded and it's not safe. So we did video content and we gave as much as we could. And then we came back to America. We edited the video and then we were able to create a fundraiser that built 3 homes. Well, then COVID hit. And I felt like I needed to take a beat from that because I just felt like there was just so much adversity that I was going through that I was like, and everybody else was going through. I just felt like it needed to take a beat. So now that we're past that and we're moved on past all that, thank God, by the grace of God, we are opening up our next house. And that is going to be a partnership with, I'm not going to tell you everything, but it's a liquor company that I'm wanting to do a partnership where every bottle that's sold is actually going back to put X amount of money into the homes, right? So that we can really build and move that from 3 homes to like 100. So that's my goal is 100 homes. I know people are like, you're crazy, but I've done crazier things. So we could do 100 homes in Haiti. That to me would be a true impact because those women are having to literally like, it's actually indescribable.
Mm.
It really is. For anybody who's watching that's traveled to a third world country, they probably kind of can feel what I'm saying here. But the amount of suffering is just so shocking that you're completely transformed. I mean, your whole life is changed after you see it and how you want to get behind it and how you want to help and how you want to make a difference and how you want to do all that. So, the last night we were there and they brought us to the top of this mountain and there was a lady who had volunteered and she said, I will bring Karen Waldrup into my home. And so we go up to the top of the mountain and she's living in this blue tent, blue tarps. So they have these old tarps that they got in 2010 from the hurricane, or excuse me, the earthquake. And they've found a way to make these blue tarp tents. Well, over time, those tents have there's been holes in the tents. So what's happening is that the women are getting vision problems because the sun is coming. It's very hot there. So the sun is coming in and beating down at their vision and they can't see. So they're having vision problems. They're having hunger problems or having food problems. They're having the problems are clean water problems. They're having all kinds of problems. So they bring me up there and the organization really knew what they were doing because they just let God do it. It was like they didn't do it. They just let God do it. And so I walked in and, you know, I had my long skirt on and I was ready to make a difference and everything. And we walked into that house, man, my life changed. My life changed. Just sitting on her bed with that little baby and I just looking around and being like, I cannot imagine living here without a lock on my door. Like every night that I go to sleep in my home, I lock the door. So that's when I was like, these babies are crying and these moms are nursing each other's babies and they're going to the grocery for each other and they're bringing this food back, and the amount of suffering that is going on in Africa and in Haiti and in Honduras and some of these third world countries are just, how dare me not do something? How dare me not do something? So that's what I'm really excited about, is like, this music is exciting. This next step in my career is exciting. But I'm really excited about my meeting tomorrow about partnering with this liquor company and saying, like, instead of us saying like, I get $10 a bottle back or some stupid thing, let's put that $10 back and let's start to really raise some money. And let's try to build 100 houses. So that's what I want to do. And Mission of Hope Haiti is a partner that I really, really trust and respect. And I know that if I send, back in the day before COVID, it was $6,600 a house. So now it's probably more like 8,000 because of inflation and stuff. But what I love about Mission of Hope Haiti is they use local Haitian people to build the house.
Oh, wow.
So now you're putting money in the pocket of the builder. You're putting money in the pocket of the cement guy. You're putting money in the pocket of every single person that's touching the house is Haitian. And then the woman who moves into it. So once you build it, you might have 10 people living in it.
Wow.
You know? So when I see the house that's the blue tarp and all that, and that's only one lady and her 3 kids. But once you build this cement home with a lock, all of a sudden she has her sister and their kids. And now you've got 3 women. And one of the things I found very interesting about Haiti is, for some reason, their men, I don't know what it is about their culture. And I would say this on Good Morning America. Like, I'm not just saying this to you. Like, I will say this. There is something about their culture that makes the men leave. I don't know why.
Interesting.
But the men leave. And so these women are left with multiple children, no money, eating dirt. I mean, literally eating dirt, and dropping their children off at the front porch of an orphanage because they know that the child's going to live. Just an incredible amount of poverty. And now that the crime is worse than it ever has been over there, I can't go. So all I can do is just send resources. And so that's, my career is so small in the grand scheme of things. When you look at somebody like Dolly Parton or Taylor Swift or something, my career is so small that we can do 100 houses.
Oh, yeah. See, it's the dream, right? To do that. And then you're putting it in action, and you've already touched it with the 3 houses. So I think you're
started.
Yep. You started. And what I love is how passionate you are about it. And like you said, it's indescribable unless you experience it, right? We take so many, living in the United States, we take so many things for granted. We really have a lot of blessings around us. And I think we have to be aware of those and be thankful for them, because there are people in this world who are just hurting. But what's so cool is, even if, we have small platforms and people without platforms, everyone can help. We have the capability here in the US to help them. And so I think it's just, raising awareness of this and getting the message out. So thank you to you for, helping us be aware of this problem in the world. And, I just hope people really dive in and learn about it and understand that the world's really small. Okay. The way it's not as big as we think it is. We're connected, and we have to see humanity in others. And so I think we're called to help others around us. So when we're made aware of it, I think we should do something. So if people want to help, how do they go about helping? Or, you're going to have the meeting tomorrow, which will help too, but
I have the Mission of Hope Haiti on my website that people can go to, but you don't have to go through me. You can just go to Mission of Hope Haiti and make your contribution. You don't have to go to KarenWaldrup.com, but at KarenWaldrup.com, it has the link that goes directly to them. So what's nice about, I'm not a 501c3, so I don't take any money. I just let it all go right to them because I don't
Right.
want to, deal with the tax stuff of all that. So I just let people go straight to the fund for Mission of Hope Haiti. And I think while we're trying to figure out how we move forward with our Waldrup Worldwide houses, I would say the thing, if you're really feeling called and you want to just send like $50 today, I would just go to Mission of Hope Haiti and just send $50. Like, do that like right now. If you're like, hey, I kind of want to get behind the Waldrup Worldwide houses, go sign up for my website, KarenWaldrup.com, drop your email in. And as we launch this effort, you'll start to get emails, and then you can get involved in that specific fund and that specific effort. But I don't really always know what I'm doing, but I know one thing, that with the right partnership with Mission of Hope, I know that those houses are going to get built. They always send me like pictures and videos, so I know exactly what was built and how things look, and the lady who got them and everything. But I think for me right now is I'm really excited about just letting God move with this liquor company because,
Yeah.
well, another thing here, I go on a tangent, but
I love it.
another thing I realize is that, you think about coffee, or you think about liquor, or you think about, these are consumable products, right? Like, people have bars, people have coffee. Like, I know me, I've got like 4 different coffee products right now. Some people have a huge bar at their house. So that person's going to buy that bottle of rum anyway. So I feel like if I can marry the consumer product with the charity,
Mm-hmm.
everyone wins, because the person's going to buy it at the liquor store anyway.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
they're going to buy it for their bar anyway. So they might as well get it from this source. Anyway, so I think it could really work. You could do it with a coffee company. You could do it with a liquor company. You could do it really with any consumer product, really. Makeup, anything that people are continuously buying. So that's my goal, is if I can get the person to buy the first bottle, then maybe a couple months later they have to replace the bottle. So that's $20. Then a couple months later, they have to replace the bottle because they drank it, $30. Now it's Christmas, so they're going to buy 5 for their friends and family at Christmas. That's $50. So if I can find a way to make the consumer product work with the charity, it almost feels like a no-brainer. So anyway, so that's what I'm really excited about tomorrow, is pitching it to the company and just being like, hey, forget me. I don't need to make a little $10 on the bottle. Like, let's move this in a powerful way. Because you also think about this. You think about social media, and you think about, when I jump on social media, if I heard Kenny Chesney and he was like, this bottle is so great, and use this coupon code Chesney to get 20% off, guess what I would do? Keep scrolling.
Right.
I don't really care that much. I don't really need tequila. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But if Kenny Chesney went online and said, guys, we're doing this charity event, you get a bottle of tequila and $10 goes to raise, I am going to order that bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I'm going to go to the liquor store eventually and get a bottle. So might as well have this when my friends come over for Thanksgiving. I've got it. So I'm really hoping that by leaning on the general people have bars in their house. I don't have a bar in my house, but I've been to people's houses that have these nice bars,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that's my person. The person who has these beautiful pools, and my sister's got one. She's got a beautiful bar, beautiful pool, diving board. Everybody comes over. Everybody can kind of go pour their own little tequila, whatever. She's got a kind of an open bar thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for those type of people, I'm just kind of too busy, just constantly touring and stuff. But for those people who have kids and stuff and have those kind of bars, I really think that could be a great way to marry something they're already doing that doesn't even really cost them much more to something that could really make a difference. So you didn't expect to open that can of worms, but that's kind of where I'm at with that.
I think that is just beautiful, what your mission is and what you feel like you're called to do, what God's calling you to do. And you've brought up God a lot in the podcast, and I love that. I'm a director of music at a Catholic church. So when you were talking
No
about
kidding.
yeah, so when you were talking about
We have that common. Okay.
yeah, I thought that was cool. And I tried to inspire the the musicians that are working under me. And then, I have grade school students and you just want to help them along. But you bring up this faith aspect. How does faith play a role in your career, in your life?
Actually, what's funny you mentioned that is it started at Mission of Hope Haiti.
It started there, really?
It did. Whenever I first started making music, I was so dumb. And I thought that I couldn't talk about music. I couldn't talk about God on stage, or I couldn't talk about God on my social media, or I couldn't do this or whatever, because I'm big country music and I don't want to mix religion and music. And I'm like, BS. Okay. Let me tell you something right now. What I've learned is I will tell you this. I don't talk politics. I don't do politics.
I think that's safe. That's fair.
Do politics. I don't care about it. That's not my jam. That's not the hill I'm going to die on, right? It's just not.
That's totally fair.
The hill I'm going to die on. But I feel like if I'm going to take a risk and possibly lose a fan, it will be in the name of Jesus Christ. I don't mind. If you're offended by that, see you later, because you're probably going to come back around, because God is hope and dreams and passion and all that. So it was actually at Mission of Hope Haiti. I know this trip really changed my life. And I was at dinner and this guy was right in my ear. I mean, he's right in my ear. I'm trying to eat. And he's like, you're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. If you come open about your faith, do you love God? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. But I'm not going to say that to my fans. They're going to think I'm crazy. I'm not doing that. I was so stupid. And he's like, I'm telling you, it's going to make your passion richer. It's going to make your entire life better. It's going to make your fans more connected. You'd be shocked at what you really will accomplish by using the name of God on stage and saying, this song is about people who lost lives before them, or going into a place that's deeper. And I just remember sitting there with him and I'm like, you really think so? I'm like, I think that'd be really cool, but like, I didn't know that was a safe thing to do. I mean, you don't think I'm going to piss people off? Like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong. I don't know that I've ever lost a fan by speaking about God. Everybody's like,
yeah, right.
I mean, so I was just so wrong. I was just wrong.
I think you saying that though, and if other, artists in your genre hear it, I think it might be eye-opening. But I do think that I feel like the culture is kind of going more in that way. It's like a pendulum. It swings back and forth. People are away from God. People are close to God. I think people are wanting something more than themselves, and they're just grasping at wherever they can. And I think a lot of people are going to Christianity. I don't know. Maybe that's my circle. That's just what I'm seeing. But I don't know. It seems like it served you well.
And you see testimonies like Jelly Roll.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, these huge acts, getting on stage in an arena and praising God. Like, that's so cool, So I think that I also find that, like, I have a new song right now that I'm about to track in a couple of weeks called Look at God. And it's basically talking about how God has provided, and how God, like, look at God showing up. Can't you see what he's done? Look at God answer prayers, endless love always there. Look at God reaching down, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It ain't hard to see whether you believe or not. Just look at God. It's like, you can't deny it, really.
Oh, I got chills. I love that. Look
out at the ocean and tell me there ain't a God. You know what I mean? Like, look out at the ocean for a sunset. Like, come on. Tell me there's not a God when you look at the sunset. Sit with a glass of rosé and watch the sun go down over the ocean. And at the end of the sun going down, tell me there's not a God. Like, are you kidding me? So I just think that it's amazing how by opening up my heart, what I really did was, it's amazing, but my fan base exploded. It was exactly opposite than I thought. When I had that conversation with that man, I probably had 20,000 followers. Now I've got 1 million. Because people just, they want hope. They want light. They want honesty. They want that. So that's really an interesting twist that I didn't expect. I did not expect that. I was kind of arguing with the guy.
Yeah. I think life's a roller coaster, you don't know what's going to come, but you got to be along for the journey, and you're just kind of letting God take the wheel, which I think it makes for a fantastic ride.
Totally.
Yeah.
So my work in Haiti kind of shifted my, funny. They brought me there to help the Haitians, but really the Haitians helped me. So it was actually opposite of what I thought I was going there for. Isn't that funny?
I think it's beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that and being so open and vulnerable, because I think people relate to it. Like you alluded to, it's just people want someone who's real and they can relate to. They don't want to, be scrolling along and just be like, well, they look picture perfect. They want to cheer you on when you're doing well. They want to cheer you on, when you're having a hard time. They want realness and truth. So just thank you for being real and true. This has just been like a blessing, honestly, just talking to you, because you're so invigorated and so passionate about what you're doing, your music, pairing it with your faith, and it's contagious. So I hope people that listen to this that are super excited with what you've shared, in the small time that I have with you. So just thank you for that. I want to close out the podcast. I do this with everyone, is we do a 1-minute rapid fire round of questions to kind of get a background, a little, I guess, closer glimpse into who you are. So I'm going to pull up my timer here.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? Here we go. It's not very official. It's just on my phone, but I have a list of questions that I've tailored towards you, and I want to see how many you can answer. You ready for this?
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. What's your favorite city to perform in?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Boots or heels?
Boots.
Okay, last song you had on repeat?
Manifest by Kevin Gates.
Okay. Dream duet partner?
Dolly Parton.
What's your go-to comfort food?
Italian.
Favorite lyric you've ever written?
Kendall County Road, the bridge. Leaving's easy, staying gone is hard to do.
I get sweet tea or black coffee?
Black coffee.
Favorite Louisiana dish?
Jambalaya.
Yeah, there we go. What's one thing you always pack on tour?
Always, always, always have throat coat tea.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
One word that best describes your music?
Electrifying.
Electrifying. And what's the first concert you ever attended?
In Sync.
In Sync. That, man. Oh, that's the good music. That was my music. In Sync. That was fun stuff.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. Bye, bye, bye. And then I just hit end the podcast. Karen, this has been so much fun. Like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate your music, your mission. You are doing great things, and I'm so excited to see what 2025 in the future has for you. I think God has a plan, and just keep following that plan, because it's going to be an amazing ride. So thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Sheckler Spotlight with your host, Harrison Sheckler. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the show with a friend. New conversations drop regularly, so stay tuned. And thanks again for listening and being a part of the journey. Follow Harrison Sheckler on social media and visit harrisonsheckler.com to learn more.